These are 7 free agents that our Cardinals could, and I hope they do sign as a Cardinals fan. Let's get into it. First up could be Zach Greinke. Now, Zach Greinke would probably have to be a small deal given his age. However, Greinke is had the 12th highest ground ball rate in the MLB last year. And given the Cardinals' incredible defense, that is a very key factor. Now, he's getting up there in age, so it might not be the smartest signing to sign him for more than 2 or 3 years, and it might be a risky signing. However, despite having pretty good numbers, I don't think he's going to go for all that much, and very well within the Cardinals' price range. He's probably going to wait out a lot of free agency because I don't think he's in much rush to get on a team, but he could be a little snag right at the end of the deadline for the Cardinals. Number 2 would involve re-signing Albert Pujols. Now, this is a common theory that Albert might be coming back to St. Louis, which would be an incredible reunion and would really end off the year with a bang, seeing him, Molina, and Waino all go off at the end of this year. He's not going to go for all that much money. It would be an incredible story, and with the DH rule coming in, they need a big bat. And Pujols might not be able to start at DH, but he could definitely be a bat that could get some at-bats. Now, it's not the perfect signing, especially if they don't add the DH rule. However, it is definitely a signing that could very well happen. Next up is Kyle Schwarber. Now, this is another interesting guy because it all depends on the DH rule. I don't think he's a good fit if the DH rule doesn't get added, but this might be an odd opinion, but the Cardinals need a big, just raw power bat, and I think Kyle Schwarber would be a very, very good fit for just a number 4 guy. They've got Arenado, they got Goldschmidt, but none of them have the just pure pop that Schwarber brings, and that's why I think if they add the DH rule, he could be helpful. Next up would be to re-sign John Lester. Now, John Lester and J.A. Happ were the only additions the Cardinals made this deadline. However, unlike Happ, Lester played very, very well. Happ wasn't bad, but Lester had very good numbers in St. Louis, and I think he could continue that if he re-signed. Now, if they were to sign a bigger contract, then they might have to move him to the bullpen if they were to re-sign him, and I don't think he wants to do that. So this would be kind of lame because he would likely have to be one of their only pitching acquisitions this offseason in order to play a role, but he still would make a very good fit for this team. Next up could possibly be the addition of Danny Duffy. Danny Duffy was hurt for almost the entire season. However, while he was healthy, he was very, very good. And while his ground ball rate is not as high as the Cardinals may want it to be, it's still pretty equivalent to Jack Flaherty's, meaning it's got a role in their rotation. Duffy is someone who I find to be an underestimated arm who's not going to go for all that much money because he's a risk. And I think the Cardinals could and should take that risk and could possibly be a Cardinal when the offseason ends. Next up is Jonathan Villar as another possible suitor for the Cardinals. Jonathan Villar could be a fit because the Cardinals are in need of a shortstop, second base, or DH. They have a couple guys that could fill this spot. However, they could use another guy that might not necessarily be an everyday starter, but could definitely take some at-bats and play some games this year. Villar is going to go for very little and could definitely provide some value to this team, which is lacking middle infield. Next is Mark Melancon as a potential suitor for the Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals have a good bullpen. However, their bullpen could use a big arm. Melancon isn't a great reliever, but is definitely better than anyone they have, except for maybe Gallegos. He could definitely be a closer for the Cardinals, and would be a very good suit there. He might lose some appearances to Reyes, Gallegos, or Cabrera, but will definitely get enough save appearances to make it worth the money he's getting paid. He has a lot of skill, won't cost all that much, and is a pretty good fit for the Cardinals. Lastly, the big ticket player the Cardinals could get is Marcus Stroman. Marcus Stroman not only has a ton of skill, he is also a very, very big ground ball pitcher. With the Cardinals' incredible defense, him on the plate could get a lot of ground balls, which could lead to a lot more outs. If you put up a 3.04 ERA on the Mets, imagine what he can do with the best defense in baseball on the Cardinals. He's a great suitor, and the Cardinals have already had conversations with him. As a Cardinals fan, I'd like to hope that Marcus Stroman has a chance at signing with the Cardinals, and I believe he does because he's a great fit, and he's not one of those mega contracts that's going to sign. And if he were to join, their rotation would be Waino, Flaherty, Stroman, Motts, and Hudson, making an incredible rotation that teams would have to fear. That will conclude our list of players. Comment down below which ones you think they might get, or if there's anyone I missed.